Welcome in, everyone, to this week's Five Aside, where we are back with part 4 or maybe 3.5 of our supporter group shows. We'll see. Joining us tonight is a woman who can get you a discount on practically any hotel you want. It's Jennifer Taylor. Hello, Jennifer.
Please do not advertise my services like that, Glenn. I am not available for public consumption.
Also joining tonight is Max Ramos from Resurgence, who can probably hook you up on a deal from Adam and Eve.
Absolutely.
Maybe?
Let me know for all your sensual needs.
A little more on that later. Unfortunately, we do not have La Doce here with us tonight. Scheduling is a little difficult, so we will try to get with them a little later, maybe the next week or so, because we definitely want to feature them. The whole point of these shows is to dispel some notions, some misconceptions that might be out there about Atlanta supporter groups and supporter groups in general, and why they are a good thing and why you need them in your life apart from discounts at adult stores, which is just a bonus perk, especially with.
Is it a bonus perk or is it a priority? I think it should be a priority. I think life would be better if people just got off more.
I think you can already feel the flavor of this episode, and like with the other two, I love that.
It's gonna be tasty. It's gonna be tasty.
I love that each supporters group is so distinctive, so different, and I think that's really coming across in these shows. Yet we can all still come together and hang out and promote this sport that we love and the club in our own unique ways, but still be cohesive.
You know, when you shop at a place like Adam and Eve, you know, there's a plethora of options to suit every taste, style, orientation, flavor from, you know, it's not just chocolate and vanilla, right? It's a whole 31 flavors of Baskin-Robbins. And we're really lucky here in Atlanta to have kind of a 31 flavors of supporter experience. But, you know, that can get a little, you know, it's a little bit hard when you go to Baskin-Robbins and you have to keep sampling everything over and over again. So, you know, it's better that they're all in one store as opposed to having to go to 31 stores to try 31 different flavors. And we now have a one-stop shop here in Atlanta, and that is called the Gulch. And that took a little bit of effort and work to kind of get to that kind of vision. And if you haven't already heard our Gulch 101 episode that was recorded back in December, we highly encourage you to scroll up and give that a listen, and also learn a little bit about the history of why we do things like wear scarves and throw glitter. So
very important. I knew you would get a glitter reference in there. Also, our previous episodes featuring Terminus Legion and the faction is available for you to listen to, and you can find out what they're all about. And most recently, just last week, we had Footie Mob and All Stripes. So give those a listen to as well. Again, the beautiful thing about these supporters groups is that they're all so different and unique. You're going to find a flavor that you enjoy, that you want to consume, that sees the game how you see it, that kind of just jives with you and your personality, but is also able to just kind of get along with everybody. It's a wonderfully beautiful thing.
So, Max, can you kind of break down this whole, like, what is a Gulch thing? Like, give me the 2-minute drunk history version.
So for anybody who doesn't know, the Gulch is actually a physical area. It is basically the hole in the ground next to Mercedes-Benz that is basically a side effect of the rail lines going through the city. And essentially back in the day when Atlanta United first started, all the supporters groups would tailgate there. And a lot of people still hearken to those days as the golden era of the club for results on the field, but also golden era for supporters groups and tailgates and what have you. And then as time went on, by just the natural association of the Gulch place, the supporters section the supporters end became known as the Gulch, either colloquially or just by nickname or what have you, until this past few months, where there was a formal movement to actually unite all the supporters group under one umbrella, and it was referred to and has been labeled and named the Gulch. Basically, what the whole point of it was that each group was coming in with its own ideas and its own thoughts and its own voice, But it got a little crowded. It got a little noisy, right? Nobody was really getting their voice heard, and things weren't getting done the way it was needed to be done or wanted, right? So eventually, there was a need to create an umbrella organization to facilitate proper communication, a proper singular voice for all of the supporters groups, and to actually get things done. This has happened in other cities for other teams. Probably the most well known, or probably the most successful, in my opinion, is either Portland's the Timbers Army. Obviously, everyone knows about them, but their collective is known as 107, and also Seattle really big on how their council works. That their umbrella council is so powerful, they actually have the power to vote in or out the general manager of the Sounders. So there is a
that's incredible, actually, that they have that kind of authority to vote in a general manager. Like, my lord, we don't have that here. But what we do have,
that's okay. They voted
special.
Garth in, but we stole him anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, Garth has said, has told people that like he had that threat, but mind you, he's doing good so far. Some people would want some other employee of Inline United gone if we had the choice, and I will not say a name, but I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about.
We know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So now with the Gulch as an organization, it basically creates a one-stop shop for the team to communicate with all the supporters groups, for the community to really communicate with the supporters grouping, and basically grow from there. And the Gulch is becoming more of its own thing in voice, not just in like actions, but in also like getting the word out. We just started a Gulch Instagram account run by one of our capos, Kyle. I would recommend everyone start following that. He was very what's the word I'm looking for? He was very proactive in trying to get this going, and he was like, we need a singular voice for all the supporters groups to have out there on the web. So he started the Instagram, where he felt that it was the best way to start reaching out to more people and more demographics, and more, because obviously Facebook is good for some things, Twitter is good for other things, but Instagram he felt was the best way to get the most touches out there. So please, everyone, I definitely recommend following that.
What is that? What is that Insta account?
Let me
Gulch ATL Gulch.
Yeah, it's Gulch ATL.
At ATL _Gulch.
Yeah,
ATL _Gulch. Right.
Yeah,
I should know this. We've had other people mention this as well, but we want to hammer this home, like the work that has been done. That was not easy work, that has taken years, really, of sort of a fractured kind of state of where we are, to realize that we did need this singular voice, and it took a ton of effort to make that happen. You don't just create an Instagram account and like, oh, boom, we got a Gulch, cool. Like the amount of coordinating with all these groups, and then the front office, like, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort.
And one of the cool things that I've noticed about what they're doing with the Insta is they're actually reaching out on Instagram and posting on various and sundry social media channels, asking for non-SG member feedback on things like TIFO. And if you want different chants to go up in the supporter section, hey, come to Capo practice, come to pit practice, come share your ideas. Stop bitching about it on the internet, show up and do something about it. You know, that's, nobody doesn't think you have really bad ideas. Like, it's not, get them heard. And also, don't put your TIFO ideas in social media comments where people can see them. Your TIFO idea will never, ever go up if you've already shown it to the world.
Correct. Anyway. But it is really important to like be reaching out, not just, within our own membership, but we want to grow it. We want to be reaching out to people who are not part of a supporters group. That's the whole point of this thing.
So Max, how did you join Resurgence? What do you know about Resurgence? Can you where did it start? Why is this the group that Max belongs to? What was it that did it for you about Resurgence?
So if anybody knows my backstory, I'm not originally from Atlanta. I'm originally from Miami. I did support Inter Miami back when it first started, and before it started, I was involved in the supporter culture there. I met several Resurgence members when Miami and Atlanta played for the first time in front of crowds, because it was still COVID time. And I got along with them really, really well. And it was funny. I met them because of the fact that an old friend of mine who lived in Miami and moved to Atlanta helped found Resurgence, and that just became the natural byway where I met them and everything. And then I decided for myself, I moved to Atlanta. I wanted to get out of Miami, and I was like, oh, Atlanta always made sense for me. And then it was the only logical conclusion I had. And then especially as I kept meeting people in Resurgence, it became more and more the most obvious thing for me to do. Now to the point that all my best friends are Resurgence members, and my girlfriend is a Resurgence member. Like everybody, most of the people I associate with in Atlanta.
See, you can find
RSG.
love. You can.
Oh no! We met otherwise. She just is a soccer fan by proxy. She's a soccer fan naturally, but it's one of those things that we share together, and it's something is really cool. And about Resurgence was started by my friend and several other people back when Atlanta United was first starting, right before it started. They felt that there was a certain way that we should be celebrating the city. We should represent the city like it is. We're not trying to copy anybody else. We're not trying to be like everyone else in MLS. And we needed a uniquely passionate voice that was going to represent the city in its culture and its people, and also, but doing it in a way that wasn't like the Braves, wasn't like the Falcons, wasn't like the Hawks, very uniquely soccer, but also uniquely Atlanta. And it's only grown from there. And I feel that on every game day, at the heart of the passion of Atlanta United is Resurgence. We either have the most flags, or we have the most people with the scarves on, or the most people with playing in the band, or at least the most in tune getting into it. Either running the drum circle, the hype circle, doing the flares, doing the smoke, or even if they're not even actively doing that, they're the most involved in watching the game and understanding how does this team function, how does the roster work, are we doing what we need to do to win and be successful? I feel like we try to be as in touch with the team and the sport as much as we can be, while also being uniquely Atlanta based, really loving the fact that we're from Atlanta, live in Atlanta, from Georgia. We don't represent one area of the city or the region. I'm ITP, but there's a lot of members who are OTP. We have one family that comes all the way from Savannah every game.
Wow.
They're here every game, and they're awesome.
From Savannah?
Savannah. They literally run American Outlaw Savannah. Yeah.
There's OTP, and there's
WOTP.
Good grief, man. Okay.
Yeah, so that tells you, and not only are they here every game, they're always some of the first people there at the tailgate. So just give you an idea, that's what it is. In a nutshell, it's passion. Passion for our city, passion for our club, passion for the sport. That's where it all lies.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's passion driving up from Savannah.
That's pretty.
Wow, I'm impressed.
That's pretty hardcore. Do they even do it for Wednesday night matches too?
I don't believe so. Obviously, those are much tougher for most people.
Yeah.
Even for people who live here. For me, I work from home, and Wednesday games can be tough. So yeah, sure. But we're there. We try to be there. And that's the thing. It's pretty much if it's at the Benz on a Wednesday, it's at the Benz on a weekend, at Kennesaw for AU2 or Open Cup games, or it's away games. I've been to 4 different cities for Atlanta United. I'm sure a lot of people else have done many, many more. And that's the thing. You can most likely, if Atlanta United is playing, there will be a Resurgence member there some way, somehow.
So all that being said, when you look at, it was described earlier by another person from the supporter community that did this episode as if you look at the Gulch as a whole, it's kind of like a giant block party where you can go from house to house to house, and every house has kind of a different vibe. So, the great thing about an Atlanta United tailgate, like a supporters tailgate, is the fact that, you don't have to choose one or the other. You can go from place to place. But if I'm choosing to hang out at the Resurgence house, I want to know, what is the DJ spinning? And what are you serving me to soak up all the alcohol I drank?
Okay, so I can answer the music one. Is the funniest one. I feel like I love Footie Mob's vibe with the hip hop and the rap and the true Atlanta sound. I'll say it with the Latino sound because I'm Hispanic myself. But like with us, it's like we're the ones that are the wild cards. Like some days we're gonna play that classic rock, or we're gonna play that 90s 2000 rock. We'll go super emo because we always are in touch with our high school selves. Always. It's not a phase.
Absolutely.
It's not
Throw
a phase,
in some
Mom.
My Chemical Romance, some Alkaline Trio.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And we'll get weird with it. Like some days we'll go back and forth. We'll go all over the place because that's the thing. One thing I really love about Resurgence is that there's not really one way to describe us. Like the passionate is more verb than it is like a noun or an adjective for us.
Passion as a verb.
Passion as a verb, y'all.
It's really much more that for us because like other than that, like you can't really describe us in one word or phrase because we're all very unique. We're coming from all different backgrounds and we all like different things, but we also love we love each other, and also we love we do have like some bonding things. Like we do love the rock music and the emo music, but a lot of us love hip hop as well. A lot of us like reggaeton or EDM or what have you. And that's like our playlist can sometimes get wildly wacky because of that. So if you're sensing like trends on the other supporters group and you walk to us, you'll be like, what the heck is going on here? And we kind of love it about us. Like we're kind of the wild cards in that sense. And then when it comes to food, probably my favorite thing about, well, one of my favorite things is Eleni and I tailgates is with Resurgence, we kind of try to do a unique thing every week for the tailgate. Some like literally we've had kielbasa or like Polish food because some of our members are Polish descent.
I bet everybody's in love with actually having a legitimate Polish player this season.
Oh my God, we're so excited. We had a pierogi day, not last season, but the season before. It was fabulous.
Why don't I know about these things?
Follow us on social media. You'll know, or you'll join Resurgence, Jen.
That's incredible.
We'll have like barbecue and gumbo and literally like name a food that you like. We've had a day that we did that. Like we've had steak, we've had barbecue, we've had Latin food, we've done like Chinese rice and everything. We've done pretty much everything in my time here, and pretty much we try to either do a theme based on the game or who we're playing, or a player or something like that. So, like St. Patrick's Day, we try to do corned beef and cabbage and everything just to get. And
we finally got our Irishman back in Derek Williams, so we can do this once
finally,
again.
Yes. So yeah, that's just another thing that I just really love about like us. That like it's every tailgate's going to be a little different for us, and I really really love that about us. It's not the same. You'll also see us do our traditional Thunderstruck routine with AC/DC's Thunderstruck. If you don't know what that is, look up the Thunderstruck drinking game. We do it every game. We will get a piñata that is designed by our tailgate chair, Jacob. He will make the most fun of the team we're playing as he can. Like he'll always do it tastefully. It's never obscene. It's never gross. But he will make the most fun of them. Like Orlando, every time we play Orlando, he comes up with gold, just absolute gold about them and their Mickey Mouse ways. It's fabulous. When we play Miami, it's either making fun of Messi, making fun of Beckham, making fun of the fact that everyone in Miami, even though it's my hometown, is kind of stuck up and a little annoying. It's just things like that. We do it every game, and I love it, and it's hilarious. And going with the glitter, like if you get near our piano when it's getting hit, you will get showered in glitter. Because we love our glitter.
Confession time. Confession time.
Confession. Somebody say glitter?
No. Like y'all started the glitter. It was not me. It was y'all. This was back in 2018. Y'all started doing the glitter piñatas, and I was and throwing glitter on people and like doing the thing with the glitter on the foreheads. And yeah, I was like, oh, we need more glitter over here. And I just started doing rave glitter, like totally different glitter. It wasn't your glitter, but like. Yeah, no, but I used to go over for the piñata all the time. I actually have like a ridiculous picture of the head of David Villa flying through the air from the playoff tailgate in 2018 when we beat NYCFC at home. I'll have to send it to you, Max. It's pretty epic. We'll have to post it on the Insta. It is an epic picture because it's literally David Villa's head flying through the air and glitter streaming after him. It's amazing.
Yeah,
But
mhm.
I was just going to say, what I really want to know, because I've never done it and I've always kind of wanted to, what are the rules of liquor ball?
Sorry?
Liquor ball. So it stems from the Gulch days and Lot 17 days, but it kind of died off a little bit at the new lot or the lot we had last year because of the spacing. But liquor ball is essentially a game of like you're just passing a ball of a soccer ball, but you can't let it like you have to keep like making it bounce from person to person. But there is a minefield in the middle of liquor bottles or beer cans,
Jeez.
no glass. We truly try not to do glass because obviously we want to make it safe, relatively safe. Of liquor bottles, of cans. I'm obnoxious. I have put things in there that are just ridiculous. I put whipped cream one time. I put chocolate syrup in there. Anything like that has been in a bottle that you can squirt, that you can pour into someone's mouth. It's been in there. And we've had some people have some bad reactions to it, but it's like if you play the game, that's the risk you take.
But what's the game? You have to dodge all this, or if you hit it, you have to drink it, or what?
You got to kick the ball to someone else on the other side, right?
Okay.
And you gotta make sure or hope that the ball, because it can't go straight up in the air, has to bounce into the middle and then out. You got to hope and pray that it doesn't knock over anything, because whatever it knocks out or knocks down, you got to drink. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. And I've seen some people really struggle after that. It's rough. Like, that's the thing. A lot of what we do at Resurgence is like, we have a saying, and it's cursing, but we have a saying called "Get fucked up, do fucked up shit," and we bring the fun. Like, we don't charge for alcohol. We take donations, please, always, but we don't charge for alcohol. We don't charge for food. We just like to have a good time, and we want everyone who comes see us have a good time and enjoy themselves and not have to worry about like, oh, like, am I limited how much I can drink? Am I limited how much I can eat? What kind of?
There are limits to the human ability to drink and eat. I just want to make that clear.
And here's the thing: people find that limit, and they find them. They meet their creator or whatever God or whatever they believe in. Sometimes and they're just like, oh, that went too far. It's like, yep, welcome. That's the thing, and that's the funny thing about being my new position as in-game coordinator is going to be able to make sure that people like ride that line as best as possible. Make sure they
because you need them to actually get into the stadium to like support the team.
Yes, and that's another tradition of ours is our beloved Wade the Tardigrade. If anybody's ever walked past our tailgate area, is a cardboard cutout of a man in a bear suit with a sign in his hand saying, "Have you drank water today, you dumb bitch? Sorry, you stupid bitch."
Yeah, because
I've seen that. You've seen it. Because how many damn times, and everyone in this room has done it, that you've drank your face off and you're like, have I drank any water today? Or you forgot completely about water. We do that because we remind people, yes, Jen, I got to see this photo of your dad drinking the giant fat cocktail next to Wade. We provide free water to people because I promise you the number of like, it's been dozens of times where people will be like, oh shit, I haven't had any water. They'll see Wade and they'll be like, damn, I haven't had any water today. And then we point them out to the water cooler where you will see our own privately labeled Resurgence water bottles, and it's free. Like, we do not charge people for that because we don't want people to die. Like, we want people to have fun and do a Cat 5 maintain and get through the day and enjoy the game and try to have memories of it, because that's also sucks when you can't remember what happened. We're all about having fun safely and really just trying to have a good time. And it's also one of those things. What I really love is that it's not just like adult fun. Like, we have kids at every tailgate. We have kids of members at every tailgate. They're welcome. They're wanted. We love them. We'll always make sure that they're taken care of, that nothing bad happens to them, because in the end, we are adults and we need to act responsibly and mature in the sense of like, yeah, there are kids here. But also the kids, those who bring kids have to understand their kids are going to be around an environment that there may be cursing and everything. But what I love about a lot of our members' kids is that they go all in and they get bought in, and that's how we create the next generation of Resurgence members and Atlanta United fans.
Absolutely, because this is not a thing that is going to end with all of us that are sitting here having this conversation, right? Like this is a thing
really hope
that
not.
no, this is a thing that like we might be laying the foundation, but 20 years from now when we're kind of dottery and maybe we can only manage, to stand for 20 instead of 90, we're going to need other people to like pick this up and keep going. So, one of the things that I think, you talk a lot about like the really good time that folks at Resurgence have, especially, in game and at the tailgates and whatnot. But I think what most people don't know about Resurgence in general is how much impact the organization has on the Atlanta community and the really amazing good work that you guys do. It gets kind of lost in the shuffle with all the hype circle and the flares and the fireworks and the glitter and the free food and
the liquor ball
and the liquor ball. So, can you speak a little bit to, the community service projects that you guys have going, what you guys have done in the past, and, tell everybody what, at the core of Resurgence, what it really is about.
So at the core of Resurgence is Atlanta United, but what is the first word in that? Atlanta. Like our community, it's our home. Like we care about our home, we care about its people, and we want to do what's right for the community as a whole. And we also like representing this city means taking care of this city. You can't just rep something you don't actually care for or care about or try to do better for. And we've really tried to ramp up our community and philanthropy efforts. We actually have like 3 really big things that we're really trying to focus on this year. One is Trees Atlanta. We're actually doing an event this weekend that I can send you, Jen, information about. We're trying to plant some trees in either dilapidated areas or areas where there was like tree growth and nature sprouting, and try to get them back into the way that it should be. So we're doing that this weekend, and we're trying to do that at least, I think, once a quarter.
That's great.
Another great effort that
we Even though we got rid of the forest kit, you're still like, on this forest vibe.
It's not even the forest vibe. It's our city is called the city in the trees, amongst the trees. Like one thing I love about Atlanta, one of the things I do, of the many, is when you drive into the city, it takes a minute to see the city because of all the tree cover.
It's true.
Like it's beautiful. Like you don't see that in other American cities like you do here. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite things about Atlanta. And we got to take care of that. We got to preserve that. And that's our small part of trying to do that.
So the tree planting thing, we're recording this on a Thursday night. That's happening this weekend, which is going to be like the 17th and 18th. I think by the time you're probably listening to this, that weekend will have already passed, but that's a really dope thing that you're doing. And
there'll be other opportunities to participate in that throughout the year because they're doing it on a quarterly basis.
Yes, we're going to try to do it more often because it is something like if someone doesn't have money to donate, if they don't have the it's not a special skill like gardening and planting trees. Like if you got hands, you can do this.
A little bit. I've tried to plant things, and everything I plant ends up dying. But I don't.
You can do trash pickup. See, trash pickup. Everybody can do that. There you go.
There you go.
And that's the thing. Is there's something that helps the community at large without really ever you're not spending the money that you think you need to spend to help people, and it makes our city better because it makes our city more beautiful. Like we love it, and one thing we always want to do is just make it better, make it look better because obviously we all want to see nice things when we see our home. So absolutely,
it's an effective, low cost, long-term way to have an impact on your city and your community.
Awesome. Love it.
Absolutely. Another really great cause that we have is we are trying to sponsor or try to donate as much as we can. I think we're trying to match donations. I can't confirm exactly what it is. I'm not sure. But the cystic fibrosis walk. One of our members, her son has cystic fibrosis, and it's a very, very dear and important thing to us. And it's one of those things where I'm not going to just name names, but she's amazing. Her wife is amazing. Her children are amazing, especially that little boy. You would never in a million years think that boy has a life-threatening disease because he is the most energetic. He's a hilarious little kid, man. Like he's the most kid a kid can be. Like he's that. When he comes into the room or you're around him, you just want to be a kid again. That's the kind of energy that he brings into any situation. And He has this awful condition called cystic fibrosis, and what the walk is about is raising funds for research and treatment for kids like him. Right? It's other kids are there with their families, and it's a truly heartwarming thing that we all get to be part of it when we try to support them, and hopefully one day find a cure, because that young boy deserves to live the longest life he can, because he brings that much joy into the world. Especially when I'm around him, I just love being around him, because that's the kind of kid he is, and he deserves the chance to live the best, fullest life he possibly could. Another really great organization that we love to sponsor is called Hey. They come to every tailgate. They actually get a booth with us at our tailgate spot. Hey is a really great organization that sponsors and helps at-risk youth in the city of Atlanta.
I love the youth initiatives, man. It's so important.
Yeah, no, they're really big on just making sure, like, giving kids the ability to, like, find their best futures and best outcomes, like just raising awareness for like the at-risk youth of what childhood poverty can do, what childhood hunger can do, and stuff like that. So they're always there. And if you come to our tailgate spot, they'll have a tent and booth, and they would love to come for you to come talk to them and such. So definitely want to give them a shout out. Please follow them on Instagram as well if you can, because they're great people and they have a great mission, and we love supporting them as well. And it's one of those things that it makes it easy, like, whether you care about soccer or not, that part of it, like, if you don't care about stuff like that, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, and that's the thing, Resurgence is, we're the most fun people you'll ever meet, but, like, we give a shit. Like, we give a shit about our city. We give a shit about our community. And it's like that, and we show it. We don't just talk about it. We be about it. So well, it makes me proud to be a member as well.
That's like the biggest takeaway I've had from, like, doing all this research and talking to everybody in the Gulch and, like, trying to coordinate all of this is that, again, there was just so much more being done than what you see on the social media to actually contribute to making Atlanta just a better place to live from all different aspects of it. I mean, you've run the gamut here of, environmental causes and childhood diseases and at-risk youth. And I know that's just, really the tip of the iceberg, because there's always going to be different opportunities, and, everybody supports soccer in the streets. Like, that's, kind of a big overarching foundational program that, most of the supporter groups are involved with. So, and then, veterans think, like, there's just always something going on inside of the supporter community to actually support Atlanta. And, it's the thing that drew me, it's the thing that drew me into the culture. I think it's really the thing that you get there. You came for the party and whatever, but, like, you stayed because you find this reason, to get more involved. It gives you a reason. It gives you access without feeling like you're awkward or you're stepping on somebody's toes or you're in a space that you don't belong.
We love awkward. That's our middle name. Like, you want to talk about the awkward, come to Resurgence. Like, all of us are awkward. It's like, if everyone's awkward, no one's awkward. That's the best thing. We find our safe space in the crazy that is Resurgence, and I love it.
So, y'all got some, besides your community, you got any other plans you want to drop on us for the 2024 season? Any new fun initiatives that we should be on the lookout for?
Anything that you can drop that's not like, the Hawks leaking a kit. I don't want to. We don't want to get in trouble.
Wink, nudge. It wasn't planned at all, right?
Yeah, right? Totally.
Two players wearing an unreleased kit on the same day, right next to each other. Well, no, never.
On the same day when Yorgos and Saba just happened to be there in the audience.
Wow. Yeah. No. Right now, our big thing is really preparing for the season. Sometimes the best plans are the plans that you make up last minute. It feels like that, and even when you have everything planned out, you don't know until it happens. And so right now, we're just really gunning for the first game against Columbus, away game. That's gonna be really fun because it coincides with the block party that Atlanta United is hosting at Sweetwater. And if you want to watch an away game with us, unless for whatever reason we say so, we are always at Footie Midtown, Footie Irish Bar in Midtown for away games. And then first home game, it's just like it's being back home. Like, I feel my weekends are empty when I'm not at the Benz. That's how I feel sometimes. No, and then away games. Obviously, the big ones every year are Charlotte and Nashville. Always a good time with both of them for different reasons. And no, just excited for seeing the season where it goes. Hopefully, much better than last year on the field because we all know when we win, everything's better. Doesn't matter what's going on. When you win, when you're competing for championships, everything is better. Everything smells better, tastes better, looks better. So we're just hoping that what Garth is planning and what Pineda is planning leads to what we want to see on the scoreboard and in the standings, and that at the end of the year, being the end of the year for us, being at MLS Cup in November, we're all celebrating Atlanta United and our supporter culture together.
So before we wrap this up and we get you to drop all the Resurgence socials and all that good jazz, I would love to know, and this could be just a global support, what is the coolest thing that you've gotten to do because you are involved in supporter groups and supporter activities?
Honestly, the spike is really cool. It's uniquely Atlanta. No one else does anything like it in American sports, in soccer, and world sports. It's so damn cool, and it's the fact that every group chooses a unique member that hasn't done it before every week, and it shows a cross section of the city and the culture here. Where I did it, and everyone around me was completely different from myself, and it really showed the tapestry that is supporter culture for Atlanta United and then Atlanta itself. It was a beautiful thing, and it's a really cool thing that every week we do, and I love the fact that we are the only ones who do it. We're the only team that has anything like that in MLS. Obviously, Portland has Timber Joey and the Chainsaw, which is really cool, and you have the LAFC Falcon and all what have you, but no one has one that is uniquely community tie-in like Atlanta United.
Fully agree. That really showcases that's not just taking a jackhammer to a piece of concrete. That's showing sorry Columbus for the shade there, but you heard it.
I can't take them seriously because they're one of they're the original team, and they didn't think about that till 2 years ago. And everyone who sees it's you're obviously biting off somebody else. Whereas United was from the get-go, the spike and all that, from the jump.
And it does have that unifying aspect because it takes a member from all the supporters groups to carry this thing down.
It's not light. One thing people got to understand, it's actually heavy. Made of metal and stuff. And it's one of those things where I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but when I did it, I was the one primarily carrying it because I think the youngest person doing it and the strongest and the tallest, biggest person. I'm not making fun. I'm just literally saying I have to lift it myself. And then I'm everyone, now you can get it. And it's not light. If you throw at someone, you're going to hurt them. But it also shows a lot about the team and saying we take this seriously. It's not made of foam or styrofoam. It is metal. And that means someone welded it and everything. So I think this is a really great tradition. It's something that's uniquely Atlanta United because none of the other teams in the city have anything like that. It's also to me the game doesn't start until that happens. So I love it.
I think that's awesome. So when let's say we want to check out the scene or learn more about Resurgence or give you money so that you can throw great parties and do more awesome things in this community, how do we find you? Where are you gonna have a booth at the block party? Give me all the dirt.
Booth at the block party, yes. All of our social media is Resurgence ATL, all of it. And our website is resurgenceatl.com. So look us up on all social media. You'll see us as the same thing, no matter what. Follow us. But be ready for stupid jokes and innuendos and talking about how beautiful Yakumakis is and things like that. You'll see it all. You will see it all.
He is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, please roll up your shorts more. Please just keep them rolled up.
All right, y'all. Full disclosure, it is now 11:10 p.m. on a Thursday, and damn, I feel like I need to go for a run or something. Like the energy, my goodness. Thank you, man, for showing up and bringing that. If you need some of that energy in your life and you want to go a million miles an hour, get fucked up and do fucked up shit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
While also simultaneously supporting your city and your community and really good causes and growing this game, especially from the youth level, because like Jennifer points out constantly, that's who's going to take over for us when we're too old to do this thing. You know, it's our responsibility to keep this thing going. We can't just like show up one day and then be like, okay, where's the autopilot switch? This thing got itself now. It's self-sustaining. It all goes away. It all goes away if we don't keep it going. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. It doesn't happen just because someone just gets an idea, makes an Instagram account, and then, we don't have to do anything. You got to work at it every day and you got to keep it growing every day. And it takes people to do that. But I'm telling y'all, I've said it on every other episode. This is an investment of your time. It is an investment of your energy, and the return you get on this investment,
it beats the market average.
Yes, it beats the market average for sure. All right, that's going to wrap it up for our shows. Like I said, we will try to get with La Dose and get them on here next week. We want to make sure we represent everyone. It's just hard to coordinate everyone's schedule. So we will make sure we get them featured so you can hear what they're all about. So tune in for that, hopefully within the next week or so. We'll keep you all posted. Thanks very much for listening. We'll talk to you soon.